like movies aren't they like not good anymore?
I mean, it depends on the movie, I think, probably.
I mean, I've heard that there's been a ton of consolidation in film studios and movie theaters and everything. And then that's causing everything to just be like boring.
Homogenous.
Yeah.
Well, that's
sequels.
That's always happening, right? There's one thing gets successful and then everything goes, oh, all right, we have to make a Marvel movie. And then 10 years later, everything's a Marvel 50 and you go like, oh, I don't like this.
But it's not always the case. I mean, that wasn't the case 30, 40 years ago. 40 years ago, 50 years ago, Steven Spielberg was just like pretty much an independent filmmaker living in the Bay Area. And he was like, I want to do, samurais in space, King Arthur tales. And people were like, great, like get a bunch of plastic on people's faces and like make them into aliens and film it.
You mean George Lucas?
Yeah, sorry, right? George Lucas. Yeah,
because Spielberg is actually kind of responsible for what we're dealing with because he invented the blockbuster with Jaws, essentially, where he's like the summer blockbuster comes about because of him, and then everything kind of the entire industry pivots and shifts toward like, oh, let's make this summer blockbuster.
I mean, I just think we need competition. The problem with America is there's no competition anymore.
Yes,
it's not a free market. I can't think of an industry where it's like a free market,
Well, the studios gobble each other up until there's only a few that control everything.
Yeah.
The banks gobble each other up until there's only a few that control everything. The different
horrible.
Retail stores gobble each other up, so there's only a few that control everything. And then you have to bust them up and be like, hey, no monopolies, please.
I know, but we're not doing that. I mean, people believe that it's good. Like they think it's efficient, to do that. And
they do until
wrong.
You get to a part where you just go like, aren't movies bad now? And that's not what the movie industry wants you to have as your like ultimate thing that you're just default thinking. All right. So what's our solution? Bring us a solution.
Okay. Sperm counts.
What? Okay. Sperm counts.
Sperm counts.
I agree.
They're low. They're going down.
I haven't been checking, but okay.
I do a weekly test, Scott. No. I don't want to be gross, but it's important. There's an actual problem or, a worry people have that sperm counts in men in America are going down.
Okay.
And there's not really a good explanation. And so I'd like to offer an explanation.
You're offering the explanation for why sperm counts in American men
and it's not researched.
Are going down.
It's not researched. It's
so
just
pure
a theory,
knowledge.
Just a hypothesis.
Just 1,000% pure knowledge.
No, not knowledge. Hypothesis. Totally could be wrong. But what's interesting is that I Googled around and no one has said this. No one has made this connection. But to me, it's absolutely obvious.
It's an exclusive.
Yes.
Here we go.
And it may be wrong. And that's why I'm not trying to claim truth. I'm trying to say, in order to do science, there has to be a foregoing process of hypothesis generation.
Okay.
This is part of that process.
So you're saying this is 1,000% legit and 100% true.
This is so true that it could.
There's no way that this can't.
We could be like headline.
Accurate.
We could be like headline on the Joe Rogan podcast. That's how accurate this is.
Okay. Right underneath the alien autopsies.
Yeah, right on alien autopsies. Atlantis.
And then Braus has a new.
And then this is why sperm counts are going down. Okay. The answer, I think, is clearly memory foam mattresses.
I don't know where I thought you were going, but it was not there. Okay.
That's the point of the podcast.
You know what? The answer is clearly memory foam mattresses. I'm on board.
Yep.
What?
Okay.
Explain it to me.
Let me reveal you my conspiracy board theory that has all the red strings between in 1974. No, it's actually
bursting with sperm.
It was just oceans of sperm,
just coming out their ears.
So much sperm. No, in 1960s, in the 60s, NASA invented memory foam.
Okay,
and it was just they were doing weird material stuff to try to make it so space was more comfortable. You could attach it to corners and stuff. So if you're floating in zero G, you would not hurt yourself by bumping into stuff.
Right, because
nice material.
If you start bleeding, it's not good anyway, but if you're bleeding in space, you're spouting out those little tiny droplets of blood that just float through the space thing
like a boba.
Could you imagine you're squirting blood out of, you're just but just tiny little droplets
now
that are floating all pleasantly. No, that's very pleasant as opposed to dripping down your dumb leg or whatever.
Oh, blood. in space.
So
You don't have a blood thing. You're fine with blood, huh?
It's memory
Some people
foam.
have blood things. One of the listeners of this podcast, one of the 35 listeners, he has a terrible blood thing. So we can talk about blood a lot, and he'll just be like, stop it.
We'll be down to 34 listeners.
That's
Is that what
right.
you're saying?
We'll be
Great.
down.
Oh,
No,
perfect plan.
damn it.
Chasing them away.
Maybe we shouldn't do. Maybe we're going the opposite direction with this. But
Tell you what, each listener submit to us a list of things you don't want us to talk about. We'll make sure that we don't.
Yeah,
we don't hit on your independent specific.
Don't like needles?
dislikes.
Great. Actually, let me just get a fork and knife and plate and just scrape them into the microphone.
No. I actually don't like needles. I'm not. I'll be that guy. So memory foam.
Oh yeah,
NASA's inventing memory foam.
Okay, so the sperm count thing, if you look at it online, it's exactly correlated with the rise of memory foam. So 1960, there were no memory foam mattresses. Everyone had spring mattresses stuffed with like cotton and stuff, cotton and other materials. But springs are the air flows through the mattress a lot.
Good for your sperm.
Mostly
yes.
air. And so that okay, we'll get to the science of sperm generation later. Well, we could start with that actually. Okay, so everyone knows anyone who's tried to have a baby who's a man knows that they say, what do the doctors say? Switch from
briefs to boxers.
That's right. Why? Cools things down.
Okay.
Cools things down. That's why the balls. Okay, we're going to get real graphic here. But let's try to stay scientific.
All right.
The scrotum, which is an inside-out vagina. I know. Disgusting. When you think of it that way.
Is it?
It is.
Okay.
The ovaries, when you turn into a man.
It's not disgusting, but okay.
Well, it's sort of weird. The scrotum is disgusting.
The whole human biological thing is weird.
The bicep is not disgusting. You look at the bicep, it's like cool. You look at the scrotum, you're like, goddamn.
Not cool.
That's
not cool, bro.
That's a marshy.
I just want another bicep down there where my scrotum is supposed to be. Just like,
yeah, bro. I
gotta take hold on, I gotta pull my pants down, take this picture of me flexing. Third bicep.
So gross. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. So body positivity aside, the scrotum is a horrible mess, but it is an inside-out vagina, which I think is interesting to think about.
Cool.
So when you turn into a baby every in utero fetus is a female to begin with, and then if it has a microma, it turns into a man. So actually, we all start with sort of woman type organs, and then it inverts out into a man's organs.
Right.
So it's kind of weird. Anyways, so the scrotum is an organ that makes the testicles go up and down in order to keep them cool at the right temperature for sperm generation, which
Ball
is slightly
elevator.
slower. Yeah, it's slightly lower than body temperature. That's why, like, traditionally, truck drivers who were sitting on foam car seats, not memory foam, but just, car seats that were not well ventilated, were getting low sperm counts. They couldn't have kids. They get infertile from their low sperm counts because they're sitting all day long and their legs are like incubating their balls, right? Mm-hmm. Switch boxers. So briefs, same thing. Briefs keep the balls up to your body. I feel like you're not telling enough ball jokes here, Scott. Scott's like very seriously like, yes,
this is how they work.
You're right. I'm like, Scott, you're supposed to be making fun of how ridiculously stupid I'm being right now.
No, you have an accurate understanding of balls.
Okay,
balls.
This is true. Balls. Okay.
So, all right. So then we're keeping it warmer or colder, and that's cooking the sperm or not cooking the sperm.
Heat is bad.
Okay.
Boxers or briefs. Briefs or boxers.
Right.
Okay. Memory foam. Huge heat sink.
Is it?
Total heat sink. Very hot. Very, very, very hot. Hot material. You sit on a memory foam couch, 5 minutes in, your butt is like warm. Women probably love it. And men, it's comfortable. It's warm. But it's not good for the little soldiers.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. This correlation has not been documented. I've Googled it. I've Googled memory foam sperm count. Nothing comes up. But I think there needs to be a solid...
Is my couch killing my balls?
That's
and
right.
It doesn't pull up anything?
No.
Huh.
Couch or bed. Couch and bed.
Couch and bed.
Yeah. And some people get memory foam cushions they sit on.
The worst.
Just all over the place.
Right.
And so when you look at the correlation of the drop in sperm counts, which is unexplained, with the rise of memory foam mattresses, it's 1-to-1. It's just like invented in 1960, made into mattresses for the first time in the 70s. Nobody wanted it. It was super weird and new. Then 80s, 90s, because more than like Casper mattresses.
Yeah, I was going to say, then we're part of the problem because
everything's memory foam now.
Podcasts were the generation of there was a generation of podcasts that were just supported by mattress ads.
That's right.
That was
almost all memory foam.
I got my
Tempur-Pedic.
I got my
foam.
mattress off of a podcast like ad sponsorship thing. That's where my mattress came from.
We're part of the problem.
I am part of the problem.
Okay, so there's a couple different vectors here. One are parts of this. One is the sperm stuff, which is what I'm kind of arguing for. Is like if you're gonna have a kid, you probably shouldn't have. If you're a man and you're trying to have kids, probably shouldn't have a memory foam mattress.
Spring mattress.
You should get rid of it. Or what I get, purple mattress. I recommend the purple mattress.
That's what I got too.
Dude, those are awesome. And those are not memory foam.
No.
They have that purple layer.
Is this a purple ad right now?
I would say yes. Purple's awesome. I would say purple mattresses.
But they do have
best.
a layer, like a grid of material that keeps air pockets in there specifically to keep you from heating up like that.
Yep. And it has spring. They do have some memory foam in the construction of the mattress. They have springs that are wrapped in memory foam. And then that purple stuff's on top. But so because they're the springs, though, it creates a lot of airflow. So actually, some people will say that a purple mattress is actually kind of cool. Maybe even like women who sleep a little, they want to be a little warmer while they're sleeping, and men are a little warmer while they sleep. They're happy to have it cooler. Women might say purple mattress is a little chilly. They need more blankets.
I see.
And guys might say this is really nice because it's like a little cooler.
Yeah.
But anyway, so if you're on the fertility side, that's my thing. And if you're like a urologist out there, fertility doctor, feel free to blast and say this is not true. But or maybe it is true. I don't know.
You see them like making guys who are like trying to work on their count, like they have these special like refrigerated.
No,
they have like refrigerated pants units. I feel like that's been the subject of like Curb Your Enthusiasm episodes, or this is where I'm pulling from is TV and movies. Diapers? Yeah, something like that to keep your stuff cold and cool.
I think I could DIY one of those.
Well, sure, you could just throw some ice packs in your pants, but maybe that's not. Maybe there's a problem with getting too cold. I don't know.
This was on Tucker Carlson, recently fired. Unfortunately,
what? Unfortunately,
I'm joking.
Hold on, wait a minute. Where's my? Hold on.
Adam, I disagree.
There we go.
No, it's fantastic that he was fired. Although I think he'll say even worse things, like when he gets on Rumble or whatever and makes his own platform. Oh, yeah, he'll literally become like the leader of the fascist movement of America. It's not good.
Well, he'll be Bowtie Alex Jones because he's going to have to
that's right,
bring his own audience there and keep them there by being more and more outrageous. And that's a machine.
I think that is what he'll do.
Yeah.
And so I think in a way, I mean, this is horrible to say because he's a monster and terrible, but actually on Fox, he was like reined in. And now I think it's like, oh no, the gloves are off.
Yeah,
So I'm terrified. But yeah, I wish him ill. So I'm glad he was fired.
I mean, do any of those guys really make it outside of the Fox machine? Like Bill O'Reilly was a big guy, and then he got ousted.
Well, he was
from
pre-internet.
Fox.
He was pre-podcast and stuff. He left before there was like YouTube podcasts.
But I feel like when they don't have the mechanisms of the Fox, because like so much of Fox's
distribution.
Audience is like people who are like 60, 65 who are like just watching Fox, and they'll watch whoever's on that slot.
Yeah, they're right.
And they're not going to, my dad's not a Fox viewer, but like someone like my dad is not going to go learn how to download podcasts just to get Tucker Carlson. I mean, he won't even do it for his own son. He's not going to learn how to get podcasts for Tucker Carlson.
But like 28-year-old guys who clean their air of 19s every night are going to do that. That's the terrifying thing.
Okay.
I mean, that's what makes me freaked out. It's like you get this like, sure, he's off the mainstream, but you get this hardening on the periphery that's like terrifying. So anyways, it's not good. But it's also, whatever.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, we'll have to just, oh God. But anyways, he had a whole thing that people made fun of him about, which was he was talking about the sperm count stuff. And he, like us, there's no one knows the solution. But one of the things he talked about, which is
I think I know this,
is the sun, the UV light, sunbathing your genitals.
Yep.
Oh my God. And the picture was classic. It was of the guy standing on top of like a rock, and he had this like machine strapped to his genitals that like had light bursting out of it. You ever see that picture?
I've not.
So insane.
I can't imagine the content, the requirement of making a daily show and nightly show and having to make content for it each night. I don't know. There's going to be some weird stuff that gets in there.
Yeah, just put anything.
It's going to be so weird. But all right, so he's worried about he's worried about sperm counts. You're worried about sperm counts.
Yeah, so
the
I'm
U.S.
for totally different reasons, because he's just a male chauvinist.
But the idea
fascist.
is, if there is a lower sperm count, then we have fewer. We have a lower population, and then what's the negative for having lower sperm counts for guys?
I mean, I'm like a universalist, and I just know that there are men and they are going to want to have families, and they're going to have trouble for medical. I'm just speaking completely medically.
Yeah,
I don't have any like grandiose, I don't know, population theory or something. Actually, I think that's quite horrible to have something like that. It's better to just let people choose to build families how they want to build families.
Some people want to build families, and then when they find out they can't, it's devastating, and they're like, "What? Why?"
Right. And they're like, "What's going on?" And then they switch from briefs to boxers, and then nothing happens because every night for 8 hours they're baking their balls in a memory foam bed.
And even regular beds that aren't having this problem, what do they sell them? They sell them a 3-inch thing to throw on top of memory foam.
The
to be like, here you go. Now you've got an extra a blanket underneath you too.
And I think women need to be allies with the men in this, because the women are going to say, no, I like the memory foam because it's way warmer. And women like to be warmer in bed than men do. It's just a scientific fact. Like, I bought this sleeping bag, and on the sleeping bag it says, here's the temperatures that this sleeping bag can withstand if you're a man. And here's the temperatures this sleeping bag can withstand if you're a woman.
A lady, here's what your temperatures are. Here's your man temperature. Oh, wow. Your bag
and then he just dropped his pants and had a bicep. Third bicep.
Your bag sounds a little problematic, bro.
No, it's right, because if you sell that to a woman and you tell it, hey, this is the number, and then they go out and they freeze because it's too low or too high or whatever, that's dangerous.
That's bad.
Like, you have to, so the sleeping bag company was like, rightly so. So the women have to say, they have to have compassion that the men have a different physiology than the women. They really should think about this. And if they're trying to have a baby and they want their husband to like be fit as a fiddle, you got to keep the heat down. It's got to keep things cool,
I think what you're telling me is that the solution is the old school I Love Lucy style, like 2 twin beds for a married couple that are like separated by 5 feet and a nightstand. You know what I mean? Like they would be like,
kind of sexy.
Good night, wife. Good night, husband. And they would tuck themselves into their own individual beds.
I think the majority, isn't there something like, I've read the statistic that like a huge number of people sleep in separate beds.
Really?
Even today. Yeah.
See, I thought that was the thing where it makes you think that, this happened in the 50s, but no, it's like people slept in one bed. It's just for TV. You couldn't have people sleeping in a bed together for standards and practices or whatever.
I had not thought of that. Interesting.
But do people? I guess there's got to be
a lot of people. There's snores, like, and
we don't equate when we're asleep.
Yeah.
So let's
annoying.
Just do that.
Snores,
or
she snores, or he's hot, or he's guys can be like these furnaces while they're sleeping, and it can be annoying for whoever they're with. And
now, Adam, this might be too personal, but do you get close to someone, or do you like your space?
Space.
Your space?
I need space.
Okay.
I need space. Especially I don't know. I need space. I get way too hot. I'm a very hot sleeper.
What about you own 2 cats? What about if the cats, will they jump up on you and sleep on your body?
They do sleep and they're okay. They're not too bad, but I kick them out almost every night. Some nights I leave them in, but most nights I kick them out. They're actually pretty well trained now. I say, time to go. I just say, time to go. Everybody out. And they get up and they march out, and I close the door.
Oh, wow. That's a sight to see.
They've been trained.
Okay.
But the thing I need is, what I want to do is get a king size bed. Because a king size bed, then you got plenty of space, and 2 cats can be on it. And if we have some kids someday, then the kids can, whatever, hang on the bed occasionally, and it won't just be like crowded, So I want a king size bed. That'd be good. Not a California king. That's just weird.
Well, you're in California, though.
That's true. So any king-size bed would, by definition, be a king of California.
I think you have to be elected king of California in order to be.
Oh my God!
Delivered
only Arnold Schwarzenegger has done that.
And he's a big guy. He probably needs a big bed.
Yeah, probably.
What are you gonna do?
Quite active.
All that flesh.
Yeah. Oh my God! But yeah, he's got to get those biceps really big.
He probably would kill for a 3rd bicep. Like
as many muscles.
He'd be like, that sounds great.
Yeah. So there's no population. I'm not advocating for any kind of like control of population.
No.
Or, I'm just advocating for health. You
just want men to have cooler balls.
Yeah.
Overall,
I'm a cool ball kind of guy. I'm like the stepdad of balls. I'm cool. I'm a cool ball stepdad.
Hey man, I want your balls to be cool.
Your balls got to be cool. I don't know. Is there an equivalent with women? Like, is there like a is there like a thing that they're affected by? Like, well, women are just colder. They're more susceptible to heat and cold.
I mean, there are definitely a lot
cold
of
temperatures,
fertility things that affect fertility in women up and down or whatever.
Types of food, maybe
types of food and environmental stuff.
They come into sync with other women if they're around other women. That's totally crazy. And as men, we have to have compassion for their fertility.
Yeah.
Same thing. Women and men, we need to have compassion for men's fertility and what they need to be healthy. So yeah, you can get a purple mattress. That's what I'd recommend. Because otherwise,
I have been happy with it.
Yeah. They do sell like cooling foam, memory foam. I think that's all a scam. Because memory foam is inherently like a heat sink. It just absorbs heat like crazy. And I don't know how you do a cooling one. Doesn't make sense to me. Well, but I mean, it'd be interesting for this to become like a thing where people start to I mean, what we need is science to come and see. But here's the other thing that this applies to everyone now. If you I was reading this research about sleep because I was researching this and other things. The main problem when people are like, oh, I don't sleep well, and like I don't like my mattress. People don't know it, but it's actually the heat. That's the thing that's ruining people's sleep and making them like uncomfortable on their mattress. You know, if you had a perfectly soft mattress, but it was too hot, you'd sleep crap. You'd sleep terrible. And here's the test. Okay, here's the test. If you need to put your leg outside of the blanket,
classic move.
Classic move. But if you need to do that, your mattress is too hot. That's the sign that you're too hot. You should be able to keep all your limbs underneath the blanket, and you should be comfortable.
See, I feel like I have a tricky body where if I'm comfortable going to sleep at a certain like temperature, I know that as soon as I fall asleep, my body's going to heat up like a furnace. Like that just happens. And whatever I'm comfortable going to sleep with, I'm going to heat up and then like start sweating or whatever. So I have to go to sleep at a colder temperature than I want.
Do you have a memory foam mattress?
No, I have a
topper
purple thing.
Oh, you have a purple too? Yeah. Oh yeah, we have purple. Yeah. So you have to go to bed cooler and then wait, what is that? Oh, you have to go to bed cooler.
Go to bed cooler than I might want to because I know that I'll heat up as soon as I fall asleep.
And then you
something
want to
about my body just like
put your leg out or something.
For sure.
Yeah. But I think with the purple mattress though, you don't have to worry about that because there's so much airflow.
There's a lot of airflow
that even if you get a little warmer, you don't feel like, oh my god, I'm like, oh, I need you're clammy. You never get clammy.
The other thing that I will blame on my mattress, but is completely not my mattress's fault, is if I eat a bunch of food or consume a bunch of calories
in bed.
right before
with
right
crumbs
before I
everywhere.
Well, no, not in bed, but I mean like if I do it
yeah.
and then I'm gonna go to bed directly or pretty soon after, my body has all these calories in it. It's like, all right, dude, I'm ready to like work. I'm ready to do things.
So
I'm ready to like
even more.
And so a calorie is just a unit of energy. It's the energy it takes to raise 1 cubic centimeter of water 1 degree Celsius or whatever it is.
Bill Nye. Okay.
It's just 1 to 1 to 1. But anyway, like a calorie is essentially in there making heat.
Right.
And so when you eat a bunch of calories, like if I downed a pepperoni pizza and then I was like, and now time for bed, my body is like, no, dude, I'm going to still turn these calories into heat.
But what if you eat ice cream? It's cold.
Oh, there you go. Never mind. There are no calories. Calories reverse.
So what you need is a refrigerating diaper that you can wear.
Or
if you eat a pizza, only if you eat a pizza, then you put on your refrigerating underpants.
Or just have the good sense not to like cram 1,000 calories right before bed.
Yeah.
Just stop eating a few hours.
So wait, what about, now we're getting into your sleeping habits. So what about your blankets? Do you use any synthetic downs or?
I probably.
Do you use wool?
Here's my blanket setup. I always have a sheet. Always have the sheet
flat
first.
Sheet. Yeah, me too.
And then I've got the, what are they, like fleece? Kind of like a fleece.
Synthetic fleece. This is why you're overheated. You got to get rid of
I've got like a couple of those, and then
a couple of them.
And then I put
okay, we're fixing this, Scott. Get rid of all synthetics.
A feather.
Is it a real down thing?
I don't know. Probably not.
Okay, there's the problem. The synthetics are also they're heat sinks. They don't ventilate the way the natural ones do.
That sounds right.
So you got to get rid of all the synthetics: cotton, wool, and natural down. Okay. No synthetics. Synthetics are bad.
A wool blanket sounds like it would be very.
They get smelly too.
Very hot.
No, wool breathes really well, especially like a merino wool, like a nice wool blanket. They're kind of expensive, but they're really nice. They're a bit heavy. Like they kind of like weigh your feet down.
But that's what you want, right?
Okay.
A weighted blanket is.
Well, you get a weighted blanket. Yeah.
Some people like that.
Anyways, I'd urge you to, because you got the Purple mattress, so underneath you, you're solid. You got airflow. It's not like a Purple mattress is like cold, like you're sleeping, I don't know, in a hammock. It's
comfortable.
It's comfortable, but it does have nice airflow.
So you're saying I should have good
blankets.
Sperm count?
I'm not. I'm talking about.
We're moving away from that. We're not talking about balls anymore.
Well, I mean, we're never that far away from balls. At least I'm not. I'm always close.
Well, it depends on how hot you are. Your balls will move farther away from you.
And length of scrotum. Have to always consider different men differently. No one's ever bragging about that. Everyone's like, "Oh, dick size." Oh, what about scrotum
length?
What about scrotum length or size? Could be the full size.
By the way, I also don't think guys are going up to each other being like, "Hey, dick size,
dude."
Like that's not a thing.
No, but you know,
like
what I mean?
People worry about that, but nobody's like having like dick.
I just
size
mean
competitions
on TV comedians. You know, people are always like, "Oh." It's probably more women, actually. You're right, thinking about that. But yeah, scrotum.
No,
size,
I bet men probably think about dick size more than women do. But
really,
I think they probably think about it, but it's from a oh no, I hope I'm okay standpoint instead of like, I don't know,
some reassurance.
I think women are like, all right, man, I'm not.
That is not my understanding of the private conversations of women.
Oh no,
I think the private conversations of women are very. I don't know.
Are we?
I think they're talking about us.
Are we making a plan right now to do like a white chicks thing where we dress up as women and infiltrate?
That's what they were planning right now.
Different women's like groups.
It won't be like, "Oh, tell us about your boyfriend's dick." And they'll be like, "That's totally unacceptable." Or they'll be like, "Let me."
Hey, remember how we all talk about dick size all the time?
Oh my God.
And they'll be like,
But we don't talk about scrotum size. Why don't we? We should.
Hi, ladies. Ladies, I wasn't here for the last meeting. I wasn't here for the last meeting, but we can just pick up and talk about scrotum size.
Horrible. I feel like we're going to be canceled for this. Scrotum size. Anyways.
The person who was going to cancel us was the blood person, and we already got them out of here just at the very beginning.
Space blood. Yeah, space blood.
So
blood
they're not listening anymore.
In space. Balls in space. What do they do in space?
We moved all the way from blood in space to here. This has been one journey.
Balls in space. Anything.
There's a movie, Spaceballs.
Boobs in space must be great, right? Because then they don't need bras, right? Because everything's just same with balls; they just sort of float.
I don't
gravity, right? I've heard you
all those sexy astronauts up there just enjoying their weightless boobs and balls.
I think I saw they did like a gravity plane, you know, where you get zero gravity, and they did like a porno on it. People who are listening can Google and find it. I'm sure
they send like super genius astrophysicists up into space, and then they check in. They're like, "Okay, how's it going up there?" And they're like, "Dude, my balls are like so weightless." And they're like, "All right, let's check in with the navigator."
Check the girl's boobs.
She's like, "My boobs are they're just floating around."
And they're like, "You guys supposed to be signed?"
I think we sent the wrong astronauts out there.
You know, you can't give birth. I don't think you can come. A pregnancy cannot come to term in space. I think I read that.
That feels unethical to try and test
gravity.
out.
You need gravity to have the birthing process happen properly. Yeah, which means no headstands. No, I'm just kidding.
No space babies.
No space babies. You got to have some gravitational pull. I think it's the same thing with if you get pneumonia in space, you'll probably die.
So when we become
you need gravity to expel the liquid of your lungs. Otherwise, it just permeates your whole lungs.
So when we become a race of people who are just traveling the stars, we will have to take 9 months out, go to a planet,
like salmon,
birth a baby, and then put it back on the spaceship
like
and
salmon.
Get out of there.
We'll be like salmon. We'll return to our gravitational birthing grounds.
Oh,
or you could make a space station that generated, a third of a G of gravity by spinning really fast, and that would just be a pod full of pregnant women just like spinning around in space.
These poor planets that get invaded by they're like, yeah, we have a peaceful planet, but every once in a while humans come down and then they just like go crazy
in droves,
and then they make a tiny one and then they get out of here. I don't know. It's a weird. They have a weird culture there. Those human animals. What a weird alien they are.
No fur, very little. Well, just on their heads that we can see. Yeah. But anyway, so getting away from the balls just to comfort of sleep. And I think especially affects men more than women, because I feel like women are more comfortable with the warmer temperature in bed. But the men, we're hot. Generally, I think men are kind of hot. And so if you're sleeping, especially if you're sleeping next to a woman and you have the same blankets in the same bed that she's comfortable with, you're like, so they have the sleep number, but sleep number's for firmness.
I was going to say, you're inventing a sleep number bed.
Sleep number should
for
be
like refrigeration.
Yes, coolness and warmth. They should make a sleep number bed.
When I dial mine to 67 and you dial yours to 73, that should be the degrees that.
Yeah, exactly.
That bed is.
Yeah. She could do firmness and temperature.
Okay.
That could be an innovation for Sleep Number, for all the Sleep Number executives listening.
You have to plug in your bed all the time so it's constantly drawing electricity.
Yeah. But I think the purple mattress with like nice natural fabric blankets are the best. Cotton quilts and wool blankets and down comforters.
So this is just another one of the things that astronauts have wrecked our lives with by discovering in space.
What else did they wreck our lives with?
I mean, like that freeze-dried ice cream, astronaut food ice cream.
Wrecks your life.
Where you like eat it and it tastes like, it feels like you're doing chalk.
So your life before you had
strawberry flavored chalk. And then you go and you think that all chalk is going to be strawberry flavored. So you start eating chalk just regularly.
Starting to see what happens.
Eat a few sticks and you're like, this doesn't taste like strawberries, but maybe those other ones will. And you get into a whole lifelong habit of eating chalk. Right, chalk? Exactly. Yeah. See, now you understand. And so you have the fault of astronauts.
You have pica.
What's pica?
Pica is when you eat dirt and other things you're not supposed to eat.
How do you know about that?
I know everything.
Do you have pica?
No.
Okay.
I have Pikachu.
That is what someone with pica would say first.
Pika.
They would say no.
No, I don't have pica.
But if you have pica, you have to tell us. It's like being
being a cop. So, but you just admitted to have pica, but you've externalized all your problems onto spacemen.
I think
women.
I think spacemen are the cause of most
and
problems. And women.
Whoa, now you're like a space chauvinist?
Space people?
Chauvinist?
Space misogyny?
Are you a space chauvinist? So you don't like space women, but you do like space men?
No, I like space women. They have the floating boobs. We already talked about this.
That's true. That's benefit.
And sounds like you can get crazy in space and not have to worry about babies.
Yeah,
because
this is what
apparently you're not.
Do you know SpaceX?
It's not going to happen.
You know what that's named after, right?
No, it's an Elon Musk thing, so it's probably something.
It's space sex. Space sex.
Really?
That's what it means.
Are you for real?
Yes. That is 100% what the name of SpaceX comes from.
All right, Elon.
Space sex.
Wow, cool dude.
That's what it is.
Glad you have the most money in the world.
And you know the Falcon, the Falcon rocket?
Uh-huh.
The big Falcon rocket?
Okay. Is this
That's
also...
what it's called, the big fucking rocket. The big Falcon rocket, the BFR.
He's going to launch his 69 420 robot rocket as well.
This is early Elon. I was all on board with early Elon.
Really? This Elon?
Early Elon was fine.
Space sex Elon?
And he did the same thing with Tesla, the S class, right?
Okay.
The X class.
Okay.
The Y class. Sexy. But they wouldn't let him do sexy, so they did the 3 class for the E. The 3 is the E. So it's the S class, the E class, the X class, and the Y class. Sexy.
Gosh. He's freaking 12 years old. What is this?
I'm on board with early Elon. It's late. It's late phase, or hopefully we're in late phase. Jesus, I guess he's not that old. Maybe we have a whole encore.
We have a whole like
horrible,
crazy
Elon generation to come.
Koch brothers, Elon Musk.
Oh
age.
God. Yeah, he definitely didn't improve when he became a billionaire. But before he was a billionaire, when he just had a few $100 million, he was cool. He's making batteries, making solar panels, making electric cars. Cool. On board. Now,
making electric cars or buying a company that makes electric cars.
Well, you know what I mean.
Just installing himself.
He invested a lot of money in that. It wouldn't have gone under without him putting really a lot of money into it.
I just think of him as a money person, not an inventor or product person.
But I think again, late Elon has become that. Early Elon, I think he was on the cutting edge of what was thought of and possible then.
Okay.
But then he's totally abandoned that now because obviously the solution is mass transit and not car. Cars are they're not.
Yeah, well, you're anti-car.
Well, I'm anti-car addiction. I'm not anti-car. Cars are fine, but too many cars. Yeah,
too many cars.
Choked with cars is bad.
Too
but
many
I
cars,
am pro
sperm.
Cool balls.
I'm like, too many cars, not enough sperm. This is what Adam thinks about all the day.
Have the cars double sperm. Yeah.
I'm down for that. Double sperm, half cars.
Half cars. Yeah, not together. Not like they're not related.
No, one doesn't do the other.
No, it's totally orthogonal.
Well, maybe if you're sitting in your car less, you're cooking your balls less,
and we could have
have back to being bursting with sperm.
You know what's the other problem? Heated seats. Do not sit in a car if you're a man,
have
and
heated
turn on the
seats now.
heated
I'm
seats and
excited.
just leave them. But you could do it maybe just to warm up the car, but don't like leave that on for like 2 hours while you're driving. That is crazy. I can't believe that doesn't like come with some kind of warning for men. I mean, for women, who cares? Get those labia as hot as you want. It doesn't matter. But men, there's literally an organ down there that deliberately part of its functioning is heat control. Like this is not some random thing,
If you're not into the idea of having kids right now, maybe
then fry them,
cook them up.
air fryer.
Yeah. Heated seats, go crazy.
Go crazy. Or if you don't want to, if you want to have no sperm, just fry them. Just, bake them.
All right.
Bake them.
This is an atypical episode, but I like it.
It's a solution. And again, none of this is scientifically proven, but, science needs to have a foregoing process of hypothesis generation. And Solutions from the Multiverse is willing to engage in that.
It's a direct line. Cool mattress, cool balls, big
cool
sperm.
person. Oh, yeah.
Oh, big sperm.
Oh, yeah.
Easy babies.
Oh my God.
Is that what we're doing?
I hope so. Well, it takes two to tango, and everybody play safe.
And we'll see you next
Thanks,
time,
everybody.
guys. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Hey there, thanks for listening to that episode of Solutions from the Multiverse.
Yeah, we're back with a little after roll. Hello.
Hey, after roll that after roll. So basically we want you to subscribe and rate and review and tell someone, like take your favorite solution and send it to someone who you think it would like blow their mind to hear it.
Yeah, we love making the show. We're proud of it. And we're excited. We want other people to show. We know that the main way people find podcasts is word of mouth. I know that's true for me. I listen to my friends who also listen to podcasts tell me about ones, and I go, okay, I'm cluing into that. So we want to be part of that chain.
So thanks for being a part of Solutions.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again real soon.
Bye.
Bye.